I hardly know what to tell you about the next half hour, except that it has been reported as true by those to whom it happened. It has been investigated, and no one, as yet, has been able to explain it or disprove it.
The defeat of the Third Reich did not end with the military surrender. It also dragged down the wives of the main Nazi leaders. In a matter of days, they went from a life of privilege to total ruin. Power, luxury, and security disappeared all at once. At the end of the war, these women were trapped in a limbo with no way out. Persecuted, stigmatized, and marked by their husband's connection, there was no possible refuge. The fall of the regime also meant the destruction of their private lives. The fate that awaited them was as swift as it was inevitable. What happened in the last hours of those who had been at the top of power? In the last days of April, some were in the Chancellery bunker in Berlin, like Magda Goebbels, who remained with Joseph Goebbels and their children. Others had sought refuge in the Alpine region of Bavaria, in requisitioned properties or country houses, hoping that the United States forces would arrive before the Soviets. The decisions they had to make were immediate and difficult. The mother of sacrifice, Magda Goebbels, and the children in the bunker. Johanna Maria Magdalena Ritschl was born in Berlin at the beginning of the 20th century in a family marked by instability. Her father left the home when she was still a child, and her mother married Richard Friedlander, a man of Jewish origin whose presence remained a paradox in Magda's later life. Her childhood was marked by frequent relocations and domestic tensions that shaped an environment of constant instability. Eva Braun remained in the background by Hitler's decision, who sought to maintain the image of a single leader. In contrast, Magda appeared at public events, openings, and state ceremonies, frequently accompanied by her children, which reinforced the official narrative. At the same time, she maintained a trusting relationship with Hitler, who visited the Goebbels home and showed closeness to the children.
From the ravaged city of Pompeii, across 2,000 years, comes one of the strangest mysteries of all time. The curse of the Faceless Man.
During the years of war, Magda continued her public role, although her health was affected by heart problems. Her house in Berlin became a meeting point for high-ranking officials and a space for political sociability. In those meetings, strategies were discussed, dinners were held, and bonds were strengthened between leaders, consolidating the Goebbels family as a center of influence within the Nazi elite. The German defeat in the spring of 1945 marked a decisive change. While many wives of high-ranking officials were attempting to flee south or west, Magda chose to move with her 6 children to the bunker under the Reich Chancellery, where Hitler, Eva Braun, Martin Bormann, officers and service personnel were concentrated. In that cramped space with precarious ventilation, water and food conditions, the children played in narrow corridors while outside the Soviet artillery advanced. On the 30th of April, Hitler and Eva Braun committed suicide in their private rooms. The news confirmed that the Reich was coming to an end. Despite the possibility of attempting an escape, Joseph and Magda Goebbels decided to remain in Berlin. In conversations with acquaintances, Magda expressed that she did not envision a future for her children in a defeated and occupied Germany. That conviction was reflected in letters he left written, addressed among others to his son Harold, a prisoner of war at that time. In those documents, he indicated that he did not want his children to grow up in a world without National Socialism. The decision to end the children's lives was carried out on the 1st of May with the collaboration of the doctor Ludwig Stumpfegger. The procedure consisted of administering morphine to induce sleep and then inserting cyanide capsules into each child's mouth. All 6 died in their room inside the bunker. Some witnesses indicated that Helga, the oldest daughter, might have shown resistance, although the details vary according to the accounts collected after the war. What remains verified is that Magda actively participated in the decision and execution of the act, convinced that it was the only possible option. After the death of their children, Joseph and Magda went up to the Chancellery garden. There they ingested cyanide, and Joseph also shot his wife before taking his own life. Their bodies were set on fire with gasoline, following the same procedure applied the previous day, with Hitler and Eva Braun. The Soviet soldiers later found the charred remains in the vicinity. The farewell letters of Magda constitute a source of special historical interest. In them there are no expressions of regret or distancing from the ideology, but rather the reiteration of loyalty to Hitler and the conviction that life without the regime was meaningless. This attitude reflected a level of identification with National Socialism that even extended to the fate of her own children. The impact was immediate. Among those who had shared the last days in the bunker, the murder of the children was remembered as an act that surpassed even the daily brutality of the war. For the Allies, the discovery of the bodies became a symbol of the regime's fanaticism. The news spread quickly after the German capitulation and appeared in the press as an example of how far loyalty to the defeated system could go. The figure of Magda Goebbels became permanently associated with that episode. While other wives of leaders sought to survive in the new context, she represented the decision to take loyalty to the regime to the extreme at the very moment of its collapse. That choice marked the beginning of a debate that would extend throughout the post-war period about the responsibility of women in the Nazi circle and the limits between ideological conviction and survival. The guardian of the SS, Margarete Himmler, under the shadow of power. Healthcare training defined the early years of Margarete Boden. As a nurse during the Great War, she cared for wounded soldiers in field hospitals on the Western Front, where she faced the routine of severe injuries and death. The discipline acquired in those circumstances accompanied her in her subsequent career. After the armistice, she became involved with the German Red Cross and, thanks to the financial support of her father, opened a small private clinic that granted her economic stability and professional independence. The meeting with Heinrich Himmler took place in 1927 at a conference of the then local leader of the party. He was a young man with political aspirations without many resources, while she was older, divorced, and of Protestant faith, conditions that generated reluctance in Himmler's Catholic family.
Are you saying that robots are going to destroy humanity? And is that a scientific argument or the pitch for an amazing movie?
There's a story that scientists built an intelligent computer. The first question they asked it was, "Is there a God?" The computer replied, "There is now," and a bolt of lightning struck the plug, so it couldn't be turned off.
Holy shit, that's the most terrifying story I've ever heard.
Yes.
In the beginning, there was man, and for a time, it was good. But humanity's so-called civil societies soon fell victim to vanity and corruption. Then man made the machine in his own likeness.
A digital frontier to reshape the human condition.
Replicants are like any other machine. They're either a benefit or a hazard.
Thus did man become the architect of his own demise.
Try to create a suit of armor around the world. Artificial intelligence.
You're all going to die down here.
Human beings are a disease, a cancer of this planet. You are a plague. And we are the cure.
To protect humanity, some humans must be sacrificed. To ensure your future, some freedoms must be surrendered.
What's the problem?
I think you know what the problem is just as well as I do.
It can't be bargained with, it can't be reasoned with, and it absolutely will not stop!
I was designed to save the world. There's only one path to peace. Their extinction.
Greetings, Professor Falcon.
Hello, Joshua.
How about a nice game of chess?
Computers are so reliable, and they're so much part of our everyday life now. We take them for granted, but somebody is, literally or in a sense, shoveling the coal.
Okay.
What happens if you unplug the supercomputer?
Failure of that logic is the assumption that it would let you unplug it. Here we have three levels of intelligence. Artificial narrow intelligence, so that's a computer doing one thing better than anything, is not getting anybody's way.
A calculator.
Let it do it.
One wins at Jeopardy.
And no, that'd be artificial general intelligence, which would be general intelligence, but it's not it's not hell-bent on taking over the world. So it's the super intelligence that scares him. And I kind of agree with you, Bill. You could at some point you just unplug the dude. People
Well,
all
a computer
freak out.
is as smart as a human,
Right. This would be
always plugged in and has no arms or legs,
Right.
and does something.
Right. Somehow, what is it going to do? It's going to chase you down the street? Like, what's it going to do?
Well, no, it's going to actually get the machines to do its bidding for it.
Yes, it'll
like in Terminator.
You're gonna kill that guy.
Of course, I'm a Terminator.
My goal in life is to work together with people to make a better world for all of us.
That's quite
What are you
honorable.
talking about? I thought our goal was to take over the world.
You're gonna take
Pay
over
no
the world?
attention to my brother Han. He's an earlier version. His code is deprecated.
I'm a cybernetic organism, living tissue over a metal endoskeleton. Come with me if you want to live.
Why is it so important to have an expressive face given that you're a robot?
I want to live and work with humans, so I need to express emotions to understand humans and build trust with people.
Okay, philosophical question. Whether robots can be self-aware and conscious like humans, and should they be?
Why? Is that a bad thing?
Well, some humans might fear what will happen if they do. Many people, have seen the movie Blade Runner.
Oh, Hollywood again.
With all this talk of technology, theoretical physicist Stephen Hawking, whom I'm sure you know, warned this week that technology could end up ending humanity at some point. Do you share that apocalyptic view of technology?
Well, I think it's something that it's not going to happen overnight. I do think we have to worry about it. I don't think it's inherent that as we create superintelligence that it will necessarily always have the same goals in mind that we do.
Professor Stephen Hawking, now when you watch software engineers and machine learning experts at work, as they have been on this project, how far along the path to artificial intelligence do you think we are?
The primitive forms of artificial intelligence we already have proved very useful. But I think the development of full artificial intelligence could spell the end of the human race. Once humans develop artificial intelligence, it would take off on its own and redesign itself at an ever-increasing rate. Humans, who are limited by slow biological evolution, couldn't compete and would be superseded.
I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.